This falls under gross insubordination, but gross insubordination is not in our contract. Why does this affect us?
The facts, dates, and events presented in this video are from the member's best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video are our own and do not necessarily represent my employer's positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act.
What is going on, everybody? So today I have Greg Kerwood out of Local 25 in Boston, and we're going to be covering, can you be fired for not working as instructed? Now, you may think this is straightforward and basic, but there's some layers to this, and I want to dive into that. Now, Greg, I'm going to throw this example your way. Let's say you have a driver that gets his route done at 3 o'clock, and he's heading back into the building. But then he gets a call from a manager or a message over the board from the manager saying, we are instructing you to go help out David Allen, for instance. Is he required to do that?
Absolutely. In that situation, he would have to work as instructed. Yes. Or risk discharge.
Okay. And so now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to give another example of, let's say you have a vehicle and I'm going to drive my truck out, but then the headlights don't work. But management's instructing me to go run the route anyways with this vehicle that doesn't have headlights. Now, am I required to do that, or can I deny bringing the truck out at that point?
In that case, you would have the ability to say no, because driving your truck without headlights would be a safety issue. And any safety issue is an exception to having to work as directed.
And then we're talking about, when we talk about safety issues, let's go to the inside employees. Let's say that a manager or a supervisor instructs an employee to get on a moving belt and undo a jam. What about that situation?
That would be the same type of situation. The employee or member would have a right to refuse on the grounds it is unsafe, and therefore would not have to follow that instruction.
Okay, so when we break this down, when we talk about the stuff you have to work as instructed and the stuff you can deny, what's the easiest way of explaining this to somebody?
The easiest way is that if you're given instruction by management, unless it is illegal or unsafe, you have to do it. The exceptions would be, them instructing you to do something that is unsafe, or that is certainly legally unsafe in the case of driving without headlights. Anything that you feel would put yourself in danger or others in danger certainly would fall into that category of safety. And then obviously anything illegal, obviously we deliver stuff such as medications and things that need to be IDs need to be checked, alcohol, things like that. So you would have to follow the laws of your state when you are making those deliveries, or dealing with hazardous materials in the building or outside of the building. All of those rules that need to be followed because of the law, you cannot be instructed to not follow them. But beyond that, if you are being directed to do something by management, you do have to work as directed.
Now, when we talk about working as directed or working as instructed, this falls under gross insubordination, but gross insubordination is not in our contract. Why does this affect us?
Gross insubordination is sort of the legal term for not working as instructed. It's described as gross insubordination because it needs to be clear that the employer gave you a directive, that directive was clear to you, that you understood it, and that you knowingly and willingly are refusing to do it. So it's not a case of they asked you to do something and you misunderstood and did something differently. Or you jokingly said no because you didn't realize that they were serious, or you didn't understand the instruction. They have to make it abundantly clear to you what they want you to do, and you understand it and you follow it. If you understand it and you choose knowingly to say, no, I'm not doing that, that's when it falls under gross insubordination. In addition to that, I did want to mention that you do have a right to voice your opinion about the instruction. That is not insubordination. If the supervisor tells you to do something that you feel is absurd or counterproductive or doesn't make any sense, you have a right to say that. That is not insubordination. But if the supervisor hears you out and then says, that's great, but I'm directing you to do this anyway, at that point, you have to work as directed. But you are allowed to voice an opinion and voice your disagreement without risking discharge.
Awesome. And for everybody watching, if you have a story to share with us that may help other people out, leave in the comments down below. All right, so anybody who's watching this on a platform other than YouTube, please check us out on YouTube. That's the main platform we upload all the videos. With that being said, we're going to get into the shout-outs portion of this. Greg, shout-outs. Who do you want to shout out tonight?
My shout out tonight is going to go to the Writers Guild, who just settled their contract and got, from what I understand, is a pretty good deal. Obviously, SAG-AFTRA is still out on the street. UAW is still out on the street. There's a lot of smaller issues around the country, people out on the street. But the labor movement is in full swing. Things are going in the right direction. We're getting a lot of good press. People are starting to pay attention. People are starting to see what unions can do and either start getting active in their union or deciding that they want to join one. And that's a positive thing. It's a great thing for all of us in the labor movement and will be ultimately a great thing for the country. And it's great to see. So my shout out goes to them.
All right. So my shout out is going to go out to everybody who's been watching this. I appreciate it. It is a lot of work, but I'm glad to see that you guys have enjoyed watching us ramble about contract stuff, which seems like the most boring, paint drying subject ever, but we try to make it entertaining. So hopefully it's helping some people out there. Other than that, that's all I have. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time. What is going on, everybody? So today, I have Greg Kerwood out of Local 25 in Boston, and we're going to be covering... What are we covering?